Hi guys and welcome to a new video here on my channel. My name is Andy. Thank you for joining me here today in our cozy chaotic corner of the internet. Now if you're new here, we do a lot of bookish media fun videos here on the channel, and if this sounds like something you would enjoy, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It really helps. And if you're returning, kisses, thank you for coming back. I love you the most. Now for today's video, we actually have to tackle something very important, okay? House of the Dragon Season 3 is either launch or about to launch according to when this video will go live, and we have to rank all the characters. We need to know exactly how do we feel about each and every single one. We're gonna focus more on the one on season 2 because it's more recent, but we really have to do this because there is no other way. But you know what? I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be delicious. We're gonna be all ready to just react fully to our season 3, which will be all live and free on Patreon. So make sure you check that out for all the updates. I'm gonna also update the description down below with all the links as soon as they will appear. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, before we get into the ranking itself, let's talk a bit about our categories here. And as usual, I have some very fun names for you. And first and foremost is gonna be Dracarys, and that's our top tier god level character that we cannot live without. Okay. Then on the second one we have the Realm Stealer. They're strong, they're powerful. We really want them there. Okay. Then we'll have the Small Council material. They're pretty reliable, they're competent, they have an important role there, but they're not quite the Realm's Delight. Then we have cost at least one word. Now those are very flawed, very chaotic, very borderline not watchable characters, but there is still something about it that we're enjoying, and we still want them around for one reason or another. And then our last tier is Fed to Vhagar. We have some people that are born for this tier, and I'm not even sorry about it. So yeah, with the introductions aside, and with a minor disclaimer that this video will contain spoilers in the first two seasons. So yeah, proceed with caution if you haven't watched them yet. But yeah, with that aside, let's just change a bit the setup here and get onto ranking. Okay, perfect. So we have everything ready here. Let's just get into it. Now, this tier ranking, is not mine. I just pick it up from someone else. There are some doubles here. There are some characters that we don't necessarily care for, but we're just gonna ignore those at the end. Okay. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay. And I'm gonna start here with Adam of Hole, and this is the second bastard son of Corlys. Okay. Now I will have to be honest with you. He was kind of annoying. Across the line. He was not my favorite character, though I do think he will have quite an important role going on. So up to that point, I did not have any strong feelings towards him. I don't know if I feel that he's cocky unnecessarily. At this point, most probably he will be useful soon, and I'm waiting for that moment very much. But yeah, so far I'm gonna add him to cost at least one word because I don't really care about him that much. Then we have Alicent Hightower. Now, Alicent is quite a nice character in terms of how she was built and everything. Okay, I do like her mature version way better. The young one felt a bit like a personality void to me, and I'm not saying that because I'm definitely Team Black, but simply because I don't know. I really didn't like her as a young puppet. She was literally like a puppet of her father. Anyway, but as an adult, she was more put together, more strong. She actually had the courage to stand up for herself. Well, maybe becoming queen does that to you. But yeah, she had also adds that gentle touch to the whole war, both her and Rhaenyra. But she's still a very complex character, and in the same time not my favorite. So I'm gonna add her to small council material because she's really there to stay. I do love the way they changed, and they added way more traits to her character as she grew older, and we got to see a bit more of that, which I really love. But again, she's not my favorite character. I think there is still some room to grow. I still think there are a couple of inconsistencies in terms of how she's done. Sometimes she's very badass and strong. Sometimes she's very weak, and not in terms of how the actress plays or how we are shown the character. Simply because I don't think she's consistent with her way of being in general. I think in two similar situations she does react different, and not because of the circumstances, but simply because it doesn't feel like it's very well aligned all across the way. So we're gonna add her to small council material. We're not the biggest fans, but I know she has quite a role, and we like her there, so we wouldn't take her out completely. Okay. Then we have her second son, Aemon Targaryen. Now I love Aemon. Okay, we are not with the Greens here, but I do love Aemon. I think he's an amazing character. I think he's so good in the way he was built, the way we see him as both strong and fragile in different circumstances. The actor does a phenomenal job. I think he's one of my favorite characters out there. So I'm gonna add him to Realm's Delight, even though he's a green. But we're gonna keep an eye on him, not to cause too much trouble in our tier here, okay? Then we have our equivalent of the Red Witch in House of the Dragon, Miss Alice Rivers. Now, I do have to be honest with you, the Red Queen was way more badass. Alice is a bit creepy at times. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but I could not care less about her. So to be honest, I'm gonna add her to Fed to Vhagar because I simply I cannot care about her too much. Then we have the twins. We have Eric and Eric. Now, to be honest with you, it's hard to pull them apart. Okay, and I believe Aries is the one that goes with the blacks, and Aries is the one that stays with the greens, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're just we're just gonna say the one that goes with the black, the one that goes with the greens. Okay, I think that's easier. So the one that goes with the black will like him. I think he has some cojones. I think he has some ground to stand on. He has a spine. He's the one that takes initiative whenever he feels like things are not going right. He's the one that stands for justice and what's right in the world, and we really love him. Okay, and for that he's gonna be right there in the realms delight. Now for his brother though, I don't like him at all. First of all, he stayed with the Greens. But not to be subjective there, I do think that we see a lot more personality and a lot more character in his brother than in him. He seemed a bit like a puppy, like the type of good soldier that just does whatever he's said to be done without thinking. Okay, when his brother is a bit different, has more initiative and stuff. So for his brother, he's gonna go to Fed to Vhagar because we don't really care about him, and yeah, well, he's just there. Then we have Cristan Cole. Now there are two separate things to be discussed here. First of all, how the character was built and the acting job, and then the character itself. So the character was built phenomenal. I think it's one of the most complex character that we got here, in spite of all the hate coming towards his way. I think he's has so many layers. We got to see him so much of him. I never expected him to have such a huge role. All in all, I do believe that maybe his character was actually a fan favorite in the end, and that's why he stuck on. But I do think it's so well built, so nice, so complex. It's just exactly what we need. Okay, and the acting job, oh my god, we have some exquisite acting in this TV show, but him, amazing, just speechless. I think he is one of the most hidden gems talented actors out there. Now, the fact that he gets a lot of fan hate mail because of the way because of his character, basically because he plays the character so well that he gets fan hate mail, I think that's stupid. I think that's borderline. We don't do that here, okay? That's a different crazy behavior, if you ask me here. But he is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot stand the character. Don't get me wrong. Don't like him. We want him thrown out. Hate. No, no. But you know what? He is important though to the plot. So I'm very torn right now if we should fed him to Vega because oh my god, I hate him with so much guts, or he caused at least one war. But to be honest, I think we're gonna fed him to Vega because I hate him so much. But the actor, top best job. Nah, no complaints there. Then we have Corliss. I think he's the honorable type. I think he's the one that stands up for what he believes in. I think he's the type that is just doing the right thing or tries to do the right thing. Okay, he that also makes mistakes, of course, because he's not perfect and everything. But he's the type of character that is actually trying to make a difference. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna be small council material because he is important and he does choose to do the right thing in the end, even though he does not agree with the people do that, or he has a lot of different opinions. So yeah, that's what gonna land him. Then we have the only Stark, I believe, that we have in this show, and that's Cregan Stark, and he's part of the Night Watch. Basically, we saw him in a few glimpses, a few scenes in the second season when Jace actually goes to the Night Watch and just ask him for his help to remind him of his father oath to Rhaenyra and so on and so forth. We're not gonna recap the whole thing here, but I mean, he seems okay. I know he has a bigger part in the book, but it didn't awake anything in me, to be honest. He's just sure he's there. I mean, whatever. We're gonna add him to cast at least one war because I do hope to see more of him. And I do feel that he should have a bigger role to come in what's in the next season. So we're gonna keep him there because I feel like there should be more to him. Okay. Then we have Daemon Targaryen, and oh my god! First of all, Matt Smith, he's just amazing. He's phenomenal. I love this actor so much. His range and what he's able to transmit is just incredible. We have some exquisite acting, and he's right there on the top. And the character, I love Damon. If there will be one winner, it should be Damon. I will die on that hill, and of course he's going in Dracarys because he's the king of the fire. Then we have Alison's brother, and that will be Gwaine Hightower. Now we do see him more in the second season than in the first one. Especially he appears when they go to war, right before that scenes in which Aegon the Second is burned to a crisp. Uh, Now I do think he will stand by his family very much. And when I say his family, I mean his sister, rather than Cristan Cole and what he's trying to do there. Now, on the other hand, I do think he does not know what he got himself into until he actually got out of that battle. The fact that he remained alive at the end of the day shows us that most probably there is more to him that we already saw. And I think he's the type that will do the right thing. I don't know why. If there is a character that I would feel it will switch sides, would be him. Even if he's rooting for his family, especially his sister and everything. I do think that if he finds that things going to south, he could be one of those that would just change sides. You know what I mean? So we're gonna add him to cause at least one war because I feel like we might be onto something with him there. Then we have Helena, and she's so sweet and innocent, even though with her visions and everything, she does seem a bit misplaced, to say like that. Now, I would love to see a bit more of her and the visions and them actually using her properly, even though it seems like they don't quite understand what's going on there. So, yeah, I would love to see more of her. So far, I think she was underused, and I'm hoping for just more. They're all together. So yeah, we're just gonna add her to the small council here because we actually like her. And the whole scene in which she's confronting Aemond, that one on the roof. I'm gonna insert here if I find a clip.
Come with me to Harrenhal.
And if I refuse, will you burn me as you did Aegon?
That is a lie.
I saw it. Aegon will be king again. And you'll be dead.
I could have you killed.
It wouldn't change anything.
Is just so good. I think that's more of the Helena's character that we actually would love to see, and more of that personality. Okay. Then we have Hugh Hammer, and this is part of the Targaryen bastards that Rhaenyra is actually choosing and basically giving them dragons because she needs dragon riders for the three dragons that are left at this point without a rider, basically. So Hugh, it's I think the best of them all. I think he's the one that's always gonna defend his family. He does everything he does for his family. He would stand his ground, even though he know he would die. He was not the type that will go with the wind with whoever wins. I think he's the one that stands by you till the end, and for that we'll love him. So he's gonna go to the realms delight. Then we have the Rhaenyra's oldest son, and that will be Jaceres or Jace Valerian. Now, I love his character. I think he's developing in such a strong, independent man, and he's building so much. He's so independent. He's a grown ass man altogether, even though he's still quite young. But the way he took upon responsibility and all the maturity that he's showing, I just love his character. So we're gonna add him to the realms delight because it's very much there on the top. Okay, next we have Tyland Lannister. Now, we don't like the Lannisters here. Did we like them in Game of Thrones? Debatable. Maybe we're gonna do a tier ranking for Game of Thrones as well. But so far, we don't quite like them here. They seem as snaky and shady as they always were. So in that regard, the whole traits of the Lannister house are very much portrayed here in a very well manner, if you ask me. But again, if the best way to describe him would be a snake, to be honest. So we're gonna just fed him to Vhagar because we don't like him. We don't care about him, okay? Then we have Rhaena Targaryen, and that's Lena's younger daughter, okay? Her and Daemon's. Now, I do think she will have quite a bigger role. We did get some glimpses at the end of the second season in which she may be claiming a dragon that's not claimed. I hope that will happen. I would love to see her just come in and save the day at some point. So that would be pretty cool. But so far, I don't think we got too much of her. I think I would want her a bit more active, more involved. She didn't have such a big party yet. So we're gonna add her to to cause at least one war. I think she has a lot of potential to show up and ruffle some feathers if you want. But so far, it's just there with the potential. Then we have Larry Strong. Now, I hate him, okay? Now, I did had a bunch of this type of characters with the Masters of Whispers. I actually had two in Game of Thrones, and those were, I think, more charming. This one is just purely annoying me. Uh, I think he's just so slimy and so frustrating. He's not the smart, cocky, but still charming type of a guy. I mean, I swear to God, I don't understand how this man would be able to make some relationships in a way that the other two did. So I don't like this guy, and he's gonna be straight fed to Vhagar. Vhagar has gonna have a big belly after today, okay? Then we have Mysteria. I think that's how we pronounce her name. I hope I'm right. Otherwise, I'm sorry if not. Now, I do really like her character. She's exactly the little finger type of character that I would have hoped from Laris as well. But Laris is just purely annoying. Her, on the other hand, I think she does give me that vibe, and that she has the means to actually make people help her, because in the end they are both counting on the word of mouth, basically. And even though she actually shows us some talent in that regard, and I think she has some ways to actually do that, he doesn't. So that's why we like her more than him. And for that, I'm gonna add her to small council material because I think she's really one of the great characters there. Then we have Otto Hightower, and oh my god, even though he's a piece of ass, but I love his character. I think he's complex. The acting is so nice. He has such a strong role. He will stand by his family till the end, and he's just there for it all the way. He's very manipulative. He's very manipulative. He's very layered, and we do love that. So he's gonna go right there to Realm's Delight, even though he's a not our favorite person. The character is phenomenal. Then next we have Rhaenyra, of course, and oh, I love her so much. I do have to be honest with you, though. I think there are two separate characters: the younger, more wild card Rhaenyra, and the way she matured and she became more responsible, took upon herself all the responsibilities that she had. I think that's such a nice difference. And I love the way Emma Darcy is playing. It's playing her is just amazing, and I think she is yet to show us what she can do. Okay, so she's gonna go right there to the realm of delight because we really love her character. Then we have Rhaenys, the queen that never was, and oh boy, I love her so much. I think she's the embodiment of the best female character that we have here in the show. I think she is so showing strength in the weakest moments. I think she is so empowering through all the TV show. She is ride or die till the end, and she's just amazing. I think she would have made an amazing queen. So she's going right there at Dracarys. As you can see here, there are only a few characters that get up to that tier because I'm very picky with my characters in general. Okay, then we have Bela Targaryen, and she's the older daughter of Lena and Daemon. Now, I do really, really like her character. I think she's badass. I think she takes upon her grandmother so much, and it's just like the younger version. She's like that fire spirited character that Rhaenys had, and I absolutely love her. So she will go right to the realm's delight. Then we have Ulf the White, and he's one of the other bastard sons of the Targaryen line, if you want. Now, I hate him. I cannot stand him. I don't understand why a dragon will ever pick him. Now, will he be better in the next season? I don't know. But to be honest, he's just a weakling. He's a coward. I genuinely don't understand why a dragon would pick him. But I feel like there's more to it anyway. At the end of the day, but I really, really don't like him, so we're just gonna fit him to Vhagar and find someone better. Then we have Viserys. Oh my god! Now him as a character, I think he was a bit of a pushover. He was strong with his people, but in terms of the family, he was a bit of a pushover, a bit easily manipulated. I think he trusted a bit too easy. He was a bit naive in that regard. But oh my god, the final scene in which he comes in to save Rhaenyra one last time is just goosebumps everywhere. It was so well done. We are completely in love with his character. Paddy does such an amazing job. It's just phenomenal. He's going right there in Dracarys. Now next we have Laenor, and we do really like his character. I mean, Laenor is made a life for himself. I think he found the best way to just get what he wants, what he likes, in a world in which this is frowned upon in a certain way. Especially since tradition rules everything, and all the marriages and everything is very much a political thing rather than something that you do for love. Love is just a side thing if you get it. So I didn't really like his character. I feel sorry that he exited of the show so early. I would hope for him to come back at some point to just like a brave rescue. But now we know that Seasmoke, his dragon, was already bonded with someone else. Now, unless that guy dies and he comes in and saves the day, I don't know if that will be possible. He may just let him be and let that storyline go, which is, I think, a bit of wasted opportunity. I would have loved to see more, but I do think that the whole gesture and the way that they let him go was so nice and so sweet. So in the end, yeah, it was quite nice. So I'm gonna add him to cause at least one war because I'm hoping to see more of him. But honestly, I don't think we ever will. Then we have Lena, and she takes upon her mother so well. So as you see here, all the female characters from Rhaenys on do have something about them. That fire, that fierceness, and the whole scene in which she always said that she wants the a dragon rider's death, and that's exactly how she ends up, was just so empowering. And maybe some people saw it more of a sacrificial suicidal type of a thing, but I see that as empowering. I think she wanted to die as a warrior just as she was, and we find that very appealing. And I absolutely love her character, so she's gonna go into realms delight. Next we have Luke. Oh my god, he's such a sweet baby, he's such a sweet kid, and the way he's always trying to help in the best way he can, even though that's not always happening the way he would expect him. You would expect him, but he's so sweet and so nice. And oh my god, the scene in which he gets basically torn apart by Vhagar. I literally out loud gasped, and I was like, oh fuck no. No, oh my fucking god. And that's exactly my reaction when I saw that scene. It was just so fucked up. So he will go into the Ramsey like, because he's so sweet. Sorry, so sweet and nice, and I'm sorry to see him go, basically. Then we have Aegon the Second, and he's the, well, alleged king, um, and the first son of Viserys and Alicent. Now, I don't think he wants to be there. I don't think he ever wanted to be there. I think he would have skipped the whole thing if he could. Unfortunately, life has had other plans for him. I do hope he will get his exit as he wants in this season, and we just won't. He just won't have to deal with everything anymore. I think he's done enough. Uh, Now, I don't think he's awoken any strong feelings in me, to be honest. I think he has potential to be a good guy, but in the same time he's very impulsive and very much of a firecracker. I think he's gonna go in a small council material, because I think his character was quite interesting, and I think there's more to his story left out there. Then we have Alan of Holland. He's the oldest bastard of Corlys, okay? And we saw him more towards the end of the second season, when he was actually the one that rescued Corlys when and fish him out of the water, basically, when he got injured. Now, I do think he's the embodiment of Corlys. I think he has the same strength, the same tenure, the same personality, the same way of conducting himself, the same strength and elegance, and I think he should really get a bigger part, and we should see him as the master of the ships in the whole thing, especially that at this point, aside from the girls, he doesn't have any other directors that he could use. There are some small children that Rhaenyra has, but they are really small. So I would love to see more of him. I hope he will get to be master of ships, and he's going into small council, because I really hope for more and more of it. Okay, and then we are to the last two, because the rest are just fillers. We have Emma Targaryen, and this is the first wife of Viserys. And I have to say, I absolutely love their relationship. The love between them, it was just so heartwarming, so nice. That you could really sense how much they cared about each other, and she just ended up having such a tragic death, and the fact that it was for nothing is even more frustrating to an end. So yeah, that's just simply not my favorite thing, but I mean, it's in a world in which we get that at the end. But I think her story was cut short, and I'm quite sorry to see that happening. So she will definitely go to small council material. Now the last one here is Harold Westerling. As I mentioned, the rest will just either doubles or fillers, so we're just gonna ignore most of them for now. We're gonna focus on the main characters. Now Harold here is, I love the way that he stands up very honorably for what he believes in. I think he's like a strong pillar. He's that strong guy that will always stand up for what he believes in. He will always do the right thing. He's the honorable knight persona in this whole morally gray shaded universe. So I hope to see more and more and more of him, because he's right there in the small council material. Okay, and with that being said, this is our tier ranking here. Now, I do think this looks quite good. And of course, in Dracarys, we don't have that many characters, because, as I mentioned, we are very picky with our top there. But Daemon, Rhaenys, and Viserys is exactly what this show is all about. Now, if you are curious to try this for yourself, I'm gonna link it down below if you wanna play around with it. And if you had fun and you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps. And tell me in the comments down below who's your favorite and your least favorite House of the Dragon character. I'm very much looking forward to hear. For me, it's obviously Daemon as my favorite character, and I think it will be Cristan Cole as my least favorite, which I believe it's pretty much unison opinion at the end of the day. So yeah, with that being said, we're gonna wrap the video here. I hope you had a lot of fun, and until next time I see you, stay cozy in your chaos, you guys.